Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Cast. Welcome back to another episode of Haikyuu. This time we're on Season 1, Episode 3. In the last episode, both Hinata and Kageyama started their journey at Karasuno High School. We got to meet some of the other characters that are on the team. We got to meet the captain, Daichi. We got to meet some of the other players. Tanaka is one that comes to mind. There's also a gray curly hair character, which I don't know his name just yet. I have a little bit of a notepad that I'm writing characters' names down on, so that way I hopefully don't forget. I don't know how many people are on a volleyball team, but I imagine this is going to be a fairly large casted show, so I'm gonna keep the notes just so I'm organized and so I don't forget people when I'm talking about them. But yeah, so we met some of the other players on the team. Both Hinata and Kageyama are immediately humbled. They were sort of kicked out until they can learn to work together, which I think is a really nice thing to do. I'm kind of impressed with Daichi so far. I think he's going to be a good captain. I'm really looking forward to meeting more of the characters as well as getting to know some of these ones better, so I hope you guys are excited as well. I actually saw a few people in the comments section that said the first 3 episodes or so of Haikyuu are the hardest to get through, which I think is a pretty good sign considering I enjoy it as much as I do. Admittedly, I'm not like totally hooked into the series yet. I haven't totally bought into it or anything just yet, but if this is the absolute worst, if this is the lowest it gets and that it only gets better from here, I think it's a very good sign. I think it's not going to take me very long at all to get hooked, and it also just makes me really excited to see more. If you would like to check out my reaction to the next episodes right now, they are over on my Patreon. Episode 4 is on the Soul tier, and episode 5 and maybe even past that are on the Ascended tier. Those reactions are also clear, meaning that there's no watermark over the video, and they're also extended length, meaning you get more reaction and more discussion to go along with each and every episode. You can also go follow me on all my socials. The links, of course, are in the description. Let's check out episode 3. Let's see where we start off now. Learning how to work together. It's gonna take a while, I think. I feel like they're both like hyper focused on their very specific thing. They need to both become probably a lot more well-rounded as players. I kind of want to see Daichi get actually mad though. I feel like he's going to be a hard guy to get mad, but there's a good reason why you don't want to make him mad. What do we got here? Okay, Suga. Gotta remember his name. I mean, it's a good thing that he's helping him out. Ultimately, it benefits the team, you know. Episode 3, The Formidable Ally. Wonder who that refers to. Maybe we'll meet a new character. He's probably not going to do it. Or he's going to try and make sure he can't return it. Oh, yep, no. He's not ready for it. Gotcha. Ugh. Well, I mean, I feel like there's merit to the things he's saying, but he just says it in such a bad way. Yeah. It's really harsh. It's so harsh. It's like a conflicting thing because he's right and he's also wrong at the same time. Not even in just like the truth of what he's saying, but like in the application as well. Kageyama is like the perfect example of a guy that obviously knows what he's talking about. The things that he's saying, they're not inherently wrong in principle, but he says them in such a way that, like, even though he is technically right, you just never want to agree with him. Because the way he says things doesn't come across as constructive at all. What I'm kind of getting from that short bit of dialogue is that Kageyama is saying that Hinata needs to focus on other things first before he's able to do what he wants to do. And even if my assumptions about Kageyama's intentions are true, he has to communicate it in a way to Hinata that actually makes him understand it. That doesn't just seem like he's trying to purposefully exclude him or put him down, because that doesn't really do anything. It's not constructive. Although I did like the fact that he hit at least one at him, and the fact that he couldn't return it, even though it was hit straight at him, sort of shows that you're lacking the fundamentals, and that if you can't return one straight at you, then you can't return one that isn't straight at you, that is going to be harder to return. I think it's a great way to show in practicality that you're just kind of not ready for this yet. But like I said, even if he does know what he's talking about, it probably wouldn't hurt to tone it down just a little bit. We might actually get to see a little bit of the actual school life, maybe. They're just normal students at this point. You see them on the court and you forget that. This guy seems like a really nice guy. He's like the helpful big brother. Oh, gotcha. If I'm remembering correctly, isn't that the position that Kageyama wants to do? Yep, he let no opportunity to go to waste either. You'll be able to catch up to be able to return Kageyama's sets. Damn, he just came out and said it that he's stronger than him. I mean, we all know that, but hurts to admit it. But isn't that the whole theme of the show so far, is jumping over the new heights? No, of course not. He loved it far before he ever met Kageyama. That's Hinata for you. There's gonna be this, like, unspoken respect between them. You sort of did say that. Even though it doesn't seem like it. Not just yet. I think Kageyama wants to see Hinata succeed, though. Like, he obviously sees the potential in him. That's why he's so hard on him. They're both gonna go on their own journeys here. And like I said last episode, Hinata's probably gonna improve pretty rapidly. Especially here at the start. Yeah, that might be some more members of the team there. Is he copying them? He really does not waste even an ounce of it, does he? Is he gonna set for him? Hopefully I'm using those terms right. Still learning. Yeah, coming from you. Who do we got there? Who do we got here then? Okay, more first years. It's kind of like another first year duo. It's gonna be a rivalry duo facing off now. Still calls him king. Oh yeah, no, he doesn't like that though. You want to tell him why, at least? Yeah, it is, right? Probably not. Wind of a fast wind. Yeah, that's not it. The jet black. Was this Psyche K? I had this sort of prediction that Kageyama was a big fish in a very small pond with his previous teams. So if he gets humbled by some other first years, it might hurt a lot for him. And it might stress his relationship with other players. He might blame them like he has in the past. Yeah, I wonder what he means by that. I think maybe that Kageyama is a lot more focused now. He's got his eyes straight ahead instead of looking down. He realizes it's not going to be super easy from here on out, maybe. Oh. One of the other new players. Yeah, I mean, you're working hard. I want to work out in sweats. He's a head and a half taller than Hinata. Oh, jeez. What is that, like 6'3" or something? Tsuki and Yamaguchi. Oh. Immediate tension. Immediately looking down on him, huh? Oh. He's one of those type of guys. Uh-oh. Okay. So he doesn't like when anybody calls him that. Maybe we'll get some actual answers. Why he feels that way. I gave a few reasons last episode of why he might, but we don't know for sure. They're both like a different kind of toxic. Suki's very passive-aggressive, it seems. Or Kageyama is very hard on his sleeve. That's what he means about him mellowing out some. Oh. Yeah. Show the hops. This guy's kind of a jerk, but I also kind of like him already. But being like 6'3" as a first year in high school. Tsukishima K. Yamaguchi. That's interesting. Interesting note about his name. I'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, it should sort of like reinvigorate you a little bit. Oh no, not the shrimp. Alright, so there is actually quite a lot to talk about in that scene. I'm going to start off with something small that I noticed. I don't really know how important this is, but I figure I'll say this before I forget about it. I am by no means an expert in the Japanese language. I don't really know very much about it at all, but a few people left comments in my first episode that Hinata, something about Hinata, like one part of Hinata means something to do with sun. And I think that's interesting because one of the few things that I do know about Japanese is that Suki, which is, the first part of Tsukishima Kei, Suki means moon. A very obvious contrast between the sun and moon thing. That's really interesting because I don't know exactly what it means. Part of me wonders if that means they're going to be like oil and water and not work at all. They're going to be complete opposites. Or on the other end of things, they might be like a yin and yang sort of thing where they work together super well. But it's really interesting that they gave that character that name because he's not Hinata's main rival. Kageyama is. You think Kageyama would have that sort of name, right? Especially with him seeming to be Hinata's main rival / counterpart. But overall, first impressions on Tsukishima Kei, very interesting character, a lot more passive-aggressive style toxic than Kageyama, who, like I said, is very like fiery, hard on his sleeve, doesn't hide too much. I can already tell that those two are going to have a lot of beef with one another during the match, and I worry that Kageyama is going to get so invested and tilted during the match that he's going to end up throwing it and causing teamwork issues because we know he's prone to that. He's going to call him king of the court or something, and he's going to get really mad, and he's going to make a big mistake. And once Kageyama's made that mistake and all hope seems lost, all of the training that Hinata's been doing up to now is going to come into play. He's going to have an insane like save play where he's going to be able to return the hit, and he's going to save the game. He's going to earn Kei's respect. He's going to earn Kageyama's respect. They're all going to learn a lesson, and they're going to learn not to underestimate Hinata. At least that is the scenario that I just came up with on the spot that I would like to see happen, but honestly, anything could happen, so we're going to have to wait and see. Are they going to be impressed the fact that they're still training? They won it, man. Time flies fast. You can already tell it's getting to him. It's going to cause problems when the most important moment. Hopefully he can channel that emotion that he has into a positive way. He's doing a pretty good job at keeping it together though, from what I can tell. But it's a very fine line, especially when emotion and energy is high. A snap, a break can happen at any moment. They're just so surprised at how much he can just fully invest himself unapologetically into any training, any situation. No matter if it's just practice, he can just give it his all. And that's like the difference it takes for people to become really special, very extraordinary at what they do. Those people progress so much faster than anybody else. Hard work pays off. Tanaka's gonna be absolutely stunned by the progress. This guy's already stunned. Doing a great job. They're gonna say like, oh, that's a good 3-hour training. Nope. He's definitely built up endurance and stamina. He's gonna jump for it. You already know he will. Pure drive. Just relentlessness. Boom. Yep. He's got it. Damn. That was good. You just have to respect it. Like, no matter who you are, even if you hate Hinata for some reason, which who would, but you just can't hate this. And it's earned, which is why it feels best. It's why it works. Nah. You know he's gonna do it. He's there quick as hell. It's so wholesome. I love it. Yeah. He's finally got what he wants from a team. I want them to. I do, but the other guys are gonna be tough. Okay. Makes sense. That was really wholesome. I love that. So is this game day today then? At least they're limbered up.
ムカつくやつだし腹立つけどこれからは俺にもトスが上がるんだ。センターのトスが。今日は俺たちで勝つ。
Damn straight.
さっさと準備するぞ。おはよう王様。
今度こそどんな壁でも打ち抜いてやる。
We already know that. It's been 3 episodes and I already know that's true. I think at the end of the day, it sort of all goes back to the basic theory of competition. People that actually want to compete but have ultimately nobody to actually apply the height of their skills against, even though they'll often end up winning because they're so head and shoulders above the rest of their competition, they don't end up improving that much because their skills are never really tested. They're never really pushed to strive and exceed their current boundaries. But as we keep seeing time and time again with Hinata and Kageyama, that's just not the case for them. On the court and off the court, they're constantly competing, constantly getting better, and they're gonna have so much to show for it. And I think we are really gonna see the results of that in this match. Thank you all so much for watching. Please check out some of the links in the description, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.